Welcome back to our latest video.
Hello.
Today we're going to be talking about twin flames, a Kundalini awakening superconductor.
Superconductor. Woohoo! That's really fun. So this is a topic that we've never actually discussed yet, twin flames and Kundalini, but, they do go together, and we'll explain why and how. But before we get into that, for some of you who don't know what a Kundalini is, and for those of you that just need a quick refresher, I'm going to just briefly read the description in my book, The Yoga of Jesus by Paramhansa Yogananda. Really great book, by the way.
Really great spiritual teacher as well.
Also an amazing spiritual teacher. So, Yogananda's definition as per the book. So Kundalini is the powerful current of creative life energy residing in a subtle coiled passageway at the base of the spine. In ordinary waking consciousness, the body's life force flows from the brain down the spine and out through this coiled Kundalini passage, enlivening the physical body and tying the astral and causal bodies and the indwelling soul to the mortal form. So basically, like what Kundalini is like, it knits together your three bodies of your physical body, your astral body, and your causal body. That energy of Kundalini knits it together so that you can remain in one piece down here. So in the higher states of consciousness that are the goal of meditation, the Kundalini energy is reversed to flow back up the spine to awaken the dormant spiritual faculties in these chakras. And this is also called the serpent force because of its coiled configuration. And everything, energy in this universe tends to move in a spiral. And the same is true in our body. So, the way that we're here speaking to you now is because our Kundalini spirals down and knits these three bodies together. And the goal of ascension is to change the flow of your Kundalini to go up, thus untying the bottom. I call it a knit because I like to knit and it makes sense. That's kind of what it is. You can untie the bottom coil at your base chakra, using your Kundalini, and your causal body and your astral body will release from your physical body. And that's essentially what death is. So there's the definition of Kundalini.
What does that have to do with twin flames?
Exactly. Like everything. So let me first describe like why, So when you are in the process of meeting your twin flame, or you haven't met them, but you're about to, or you have already met them, whatever the case may be, you tend to feel this extremely high spiritual energy. It's pretty consensus, like everyone feels that. Like if and when you're like dating your twin flame, or even in Harmonious Twin Flame Union, like Jeff and I are in, you feel your consciousness raise, you feel that high spiritual energy, and that is in fact your Kundalini energy that you're experiencing being released or being felt. And I think what we really wanted to bring awareness to is the how there is a responsibility that is attached to desiring to be with your twin in a way that is based on a true foundation and in a way that is responsible, because you can misuse your Kundalini energy, and that can actually harm you. It could harm either your physical body, it could harm your subtle or your causal body. And when you think you're wanting to progress with your twin flame, it can actually slingshot you backwards, because you don't have a foundation yet to raise your Kundalini in a responsible and in a effective way allows your twin flame to be with you.
So in another way to say this is, if you're using your twin flame to get high, then you will find that you've taken from the relationship.
Yeah.
And in taking from the relationship, you diminish it rather than grow it. And to have harmonious union, you must, at the core, have a healthy, thriving relationship with your twin flame within.
Because naturally being with your twin flame, and this is what Kundalini energy does, is that it raises your consciousness. But if you're not ready to awaken, or, even if you think you do, and, God bless your heart, you may have that sweet intention and really want that. And I want that for you. We all do. If you don't have the foundation, the inner work available to you in order to sustain that, then it doesn't really help you or your union. It actually just makes you feel really bad. And like your twin flame is this really high thing, and it can feel good, but then you also feel like a lot of bad stuff is amplified and doesn't feel good.
I know that when a lot of students come to our work, they've tried kind of other ways of getting close to their twin flame, and really it's just kind of a process of hitting your twin flame, getting to know your twin flame so you can hit them where it hurts, and so you can control and manipulate them so that you'll get a response out of them. It's kind of like you squeeze your twin flame and some juice comes out, and this sort of other path, that's the reality of what it is. You're just squeezing your twin flame and juice comes out, and actually it gets you high and you feel great because it's like, that's your twin flame, that's their energy. But what we're teaching, and the reason it can seem so boring, is you never squeeze your twin flame and juice will never come out that way. But we're teaching a much more mature spiritual path.
Right.
And this is a fundamental foundation of harmony and union with your twin flame, where you swim in the juice all day.
Right.
But that is a higher spiritual attainment that you must earn versus reach out and squeeze your twin flame. If you know enough to know your twin flame and know they're one, know the concepts, you could misuse this teaching, squeeze your twin flame, and be like, oh my God, I'm getting results. Fuck this Jeff and Shalia teaching. I'm getting results now, whereas with them, I couldn't get any results today or tomorrow. It was a process.
Right.
And when you begin the process with our teaching, you build an eternal foundation that you can be with them forever. And we've talked about this in the recent video on reincarnation.
Oh yeah.
And the reason that you don't want to be living just for this moment, and in the sense that you just get what you can right now, you want to be living in this moment so that you eternally build it, and you build eternal foundation to permanently, eternally evolve, expand, grow, and raise your Kundalini energy.
Right. And we experience this in our union every day, where our love grows and our love expands, and it's done on that foundation of our inner work and the mirror exercise, and feeling our feelings and being responsible and in changing. Like, I never change for anyone, but I'll change every day for Jeff. And and it's because that's where the divine is asking me to be changed and grow. And in so doing, when that happens and I feel our love grow and expand, like my Kundalini raises, and I can feel like this spiritual energy raise inside my physical body. Do you feel that too?
Well, I experience it as my whole life gets better.
And that too.
And I feel better.
Yeah.
And honestly, I don't really relate to life from a body. I relate to life from a sense of being.
Well, that's what I'm really indicating. Like, I don't relate to life as from a body either, but I relate to like energy, and I feel like that energy shift, and I do.
Oh yeah, you get higher.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You feel high.
I do. Like, yeah, I do. I feel like that higher, but it feels good and not like I'm taking from a place that I don't have.
Right. And numbing out to the fact that you're taking from yourself.
Right.
Instead, you're really building a permanent foundation.
Right. And my Kundalini raises, or ours raises, because we do our inner work and our spiritual work, and we do it together, and we do it from a place where there's an inner foundation for it.
So why are twin flames a Kundalini superconductor? And it's because when you're working with your twin flame, when you're on the twin flame journey, when you're a twin flame spiritual path, You're deciding to unite with your entire being. So instead of just a part of you focusing on your spiritual path, you're uniting your entire being.
All of you.
To focus on your spiritual path. And that's not just 1 + 1 = 2. It's more than a factor of multiplicity, because you're having intimate relationship with yourself, and all the parts of you can function in harmony, and that makes you magnitudes more powerful rather than just one part of you more powerful, because these interconnections can be tapped into, and this relationship is the fundamental basis for the way that you relate to God, and the way that you ascend your Kundalini, you ascend on your spiritual path. It's because this is how you were created by God. Right. It's the fundamental way you relate to your Creator.
Which is, an important question to ask yourself if you're actively on this journey is, what's the purpose of being with your twin flame? Why do you want to be with them?
Get really honest about that too.
Right. Just because they're there doesn't mean, you should have them.
And so this can help you stop longing for the high.
Right.
I see a lot of people on the twin flame journey act like drug addicts or something. They're like, I just gotta get around my twin flame, and he left and I feel so bad. And I know that sort of thing, it actually deters a lot of real reasonable people from the twin flame journey, because a lot of people sound like drug addicts on the journey. They're trying to get their fix, trying to get their spiritual high from their twin flame, and my God, does it get you high?
And the reason being is because even if you have tried certain drugs or whatever substances that get you high, and you come over and you start doing spiritual practices, you realize God is the ultimate high. And so you start to do things that get you high spiritually that you feel are similar or akin or better to drugs, but that's, once again, it's just not the way, even though it's pointing to the way.
It shows you
there's a way to do the way. Right. Know what I mean?
Drugs aren't bad in that they get you high. This is why everyone loves drugs. They get you high.
Sure.
But the problem with drugs is you pay an inappropriately high price for that high. It's way beyond not worth it. It's like you setting yourself on fire.
And even then, if you reach a really high conscious state and you're with the divine and being and talking with the divine, you didn't actually make it, because you're not actually there, because you're there on a favor. And you didn't get there.
You're not really there.
You're not really
you didn't
there.
Earn it.
Right. You didn't really earn it. It's just hey, this is here. And so you know what to aim for, but you don't get it through getting high spiritually, or
I want to provide you really an intense example, and I'll raise my hand when it's done, because if you're a little squeamish, I might recommend you skip it. So when I do this again, it means my example is over. So if you want to skip it, go ahead. If you're into some gruesome ass shit and you really want the point ribbon, listen in.
Oh my God. It's not that scary. Don't scare people.
Well, it's Halloween.
Oh, well, at the time of shooting this video.
So that wasn't my signal. I use my hands a lot. That wasn't it. So if you got back into the video thinking the example was over, it's not. Haven't done it yet.
Okay.
So I'll be sure to keep my hands down. So it was actually a Simpsons Halloween special that I saw.
Oh, The Simpsons.
Yeah, cartoon. If this is thousands of years in the future, it was a cool cartoon back in my day. And so there was a Simpsons Halloween episode. The main character is Homer, and he's known for liking beer. He's a real hedonistic kind of guy. And the whole family leaves on a trip, and he's grilling out in the backyard or something, and he cuts one of his fingers off, and it hits the grill, and then he realizes that his thumb smells delicious, and so you see him getting sort of tempted by the meat that smells so good, and then he eats it, ends up eating it, and it's the most delicious meat he's ever had.
Oh, God.
And he gets so high off it, and he's just so cloud nine from eating his own meat, right? And so then he, he moves on. He's like, oh, I shouldn't do that again, like the, ooh, but that was so good. And then, of course, it's Homer Simpson, so he cuts off another finger and eats it, and, the last one, and then, he cuts off most of his fingers, and he cuts off his leg, and, there's less and less and less of Homer left to cut off and eat. And this is the same, and the reason I draw this gruesome conclusion is this is this is the same as you using your twin flame to get high, because there's less and less and less of the relationship. You start to bring it back. So gruesome part is over. Come back to the video now. It's cool. So in this example, which I won't refer to again, it's the same as wasting away your harmonious union, or wasting away your relationship with your twin flame, wasting away your spiritual energy. It's wasting away yourself. And
because you're not growing the love, you're consuming it.
Exactly. And love is effervescing. It's always growing. It's always expanding. And in that, it doesn't mean it moves to new places and that's it. Like if you just look at this place, it's moving to new places. It means it's growing into new places and remaining where it was too. And this is where I see a lot of people in their, with their twin flames. They're always trying to get something from their twin flame, the next high. They're always trying to, squeeze the next juice out of them to move forward. But, what people miss is that if you're doing the work that we teach you, you're actually growing the love between you and your twin flame, because you're growing it within. Yeah. And you may not see, this is the conclusive, thing here. You may not see the work that you've done. And you may feel tempted to, cash in the work that you've done and get high to validate that you're doing something. But we assure you this is the wrong way. And the only way to your harmonious union is a foundational inner relationship with your creator that you grow through a process of relationship.
Amen.
Relationship with self, with God, your creator, and with your twin flame, and with all. Yeah. And in building that relationship, and it might seem really boring to work on your foundation. I'm always broke and poor and sick all the time because I never give myself enough here. And instead, I'm always spending it on drugs to get high, and I feel wonderful when I'm high, but then I'm broke and sick. Instead of, the excitement of getting high, you're going to give that up. But you're not giving up getting high forever. You're just temporarily giving up the high so you can invest in your foundation so you can be permanently high. Permanently high,
and create a life that you and your twin flame can be in sustainably forever.
Do you understand how high Shalia and I are all the fucking time?
I just asked Fedra, we're high all that. Fedra's our soul sister. Yeah, she lives with us. We're high all the time.
My God.
In a really good way.
We're always fucking high. And we're always doing spiritual work too.
Yeah.
So, it's either we're high or we're processing and doing spiritual work.
Yeah. So,
this is the reality. And guess what? That spiritual work, it's going to get us higher and higher and higher until we reach perfect union, and then the spiritual work dries up.
But, I still feel good about, doing my inner work and my spiritual work.
Because it gets you high.
And, we live a very full life. It doesn't stop us.
It's lit as fuck.
Yeah, even if I'm going through upheaval or... I'm feeling a little sad or a little emotion, it doesn't stop me from living my life. It's just part of being human, and I accept all of my humanness, and I accept all of my spiritual self, my causal body, my astral body, my physical body. I love who I am, and I do anything to give myself a life that I don't need to take a vacation from,
So, stop. I wanted to give my inappropriate example, or my Stop doing the example that I gave you. And another, if you didn't listen to that part, stop doing the thing that gets you high but takes from you, and start doing the permanent work that we can teach you if you invest in a relationship with us that will bring you your harmonious union. We have 9 harmonious unions, including our own, in our community right now from our work.
We all use the mirror exercise in our unions.
It's our work that brought these together, and there's something 14 or 15 harmonious unions that we've brought together in our short career in doing this. So, by God, we're just getting started. And if you're here and you're listening to this for the first time or the 5,000th time and you haven't invested into a relationship with us, what the fuck are you waiting for? Waiting for grandma to come send you a check so you can buy our $10 book or watch the rest of our free ass videos or shitloads of free articles or join our free community? By God, just make the decision.
Yeah.
And you,
because aren't you worth it?
Yeah,
Aren't you worth like investing love into yourself? I know I am, and I know you are too.
it's a fundamental decision that you must make, and you
Yeah.
must say and decide, you know, that I am worth it. I am worth investing into. I am worth loving.
Because if you don't, who will?
No one.
Who does?
No one's gonna do it for you.
Yeah.
I can't do it for you.
Right.
I promise. I promise. So thank you so much for joining us in this
Thank you,
lovely
everyone.
video. We hope that you join us in the next video and
Yeah.
smash that subscribe button.
And we hope you learned a little bit more about twin flames and Kundalini today. Check back for more videos. Love you guys.
Take care.
Bye.